I immediately called you up when I learned that I got a position. I didn't speak to my family, but I spoke to you first.
Hi there, Dr. Rajeev here from IMG Secrets. In this video, we have an IMG who has been successful through the alternate entry path program, and we'll be talking to him so he can share some insights of how he achieved this so you can follow the exact same strategy. Let's do this together. Welcome, Dr. Ashish.
Hello, Dr. Rajeev. Hello.
It's so inspirational to hear your story.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity, Dr. Rajeev. Yes, first of all, a sincere thanks to all IMG Secrets team and especially to you who guided me through this process. I initially thought was not achievable with my background, but then it happened with your support and also me working constantly on the guidance which you provided to me.
Now we are so happy to hear that. Can you briefly introduce yourself and share your background as an IMG?
Yes, so I started my journey from India. I did my medical school over there and also did my residency in internal medicine. Completing residency, I worked for a few years as an intensivist first, then worked as an attendee in various hospitals in India. Then I thought of myself coming to United States and give myself a chance to enhance my career in the medical field. And I was always looking forward to expand my knowledge, be it any field. And so I applied initially for a research, which I happened to got. I was fortunate, and for a few years, while completing the step exams at the same time, which is a requirement to move forward in this process. And I worked hard, did some publications and research, and kept my mentors happy, and also was in constant touch on the clinical side. Was not just only doing bench side research, and so that helped bringing me up in terms of levels of confidence in how to handle patients in United States. So that's a big plus. Always be in touch on the clinical side, even though if you're doing research. So from there on, having a background of internal medicine residency and then doing research and publications, I initially thought of doing residency, but then when I happened to see your website and I came to know about you, so you changed my whole thinking process of looking at my CV first and then suggesting me to go for alternate pathway. Initially I thought no, it's not possible, but then with your support and you having confidence of me can achieve the alternate pathway with my CV, it really helped me in making my decision to try this route. And I'm glad I listened to you. This was like many months back, and I have no regrets now not applying for residency.
Yeah, I know. I still remember you coming to us for personalized guidance, saying how can you apply for a residency match, and that is when we discussed about you probably should not apply for residency match because you meet all the criteria to actually be directly a consultant or an attending physician through the alternate entry pathway, and I'm so glad that it all worked out, and now you actually do have a position as an attending physician, which is fantastic. We're really happy about that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what were some of the initial challenges you faced when seeking all these positions in the US?
So, seeking position, you need to have patience. You really have to work hard on whatever opportunity you get in US to achieve your goal. I know disappointments do come when things don't go your way. What I think personally is that to be successful, I think your CV needs to be growing every few months. If it's stagnant, that means you're not progressing. So I took a timeline of like every 6 months, something needs to be added in your CV that you have really worked hard. And that tells the entire story about anyone. Volunteering helps as well in many areas. I think perseverance is the key. But I did face some challenges. I have got a lot of rejections as well while applying. It's not like it's just one area applying and you're done. You have to have patience, like I said, and confident enough that your CV speaks volumes. Not only to yourself but to the others as well.
No, absolutely. You so well said that. I think there are two key points here. So one is to stay focused, and the second is not face disappointment with rejections. I keep saying this. some of our IMGs get successful very quickly, but some take persistent applications. And that's not uncommon. We just have to be persistent. So now you're in a phase where you have an excellent opportunity in such a prestigious university. So can you describe that special moment when you learned that you actually did secure a position directly as an attending physician without having to do residency in the US side?
So, yes, I still don't have words to be honest. It just happened a few days back. Yes, I feel more confident now, and now I'm up to the challenge in this new phase of my life. I'm gonna continue my research work and clinical side so that my CV gets improving. So I'm not gonna stop over there. But it was, I had no words. I immediately called you up when I learned that I got a position. I didn't speak to my family, but I spoke to you first.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yes, and your support and guidance through every step, be it like how to make a proper CV, how to come up with a good personal statement, and then how to apply. Applying also is an art. It's not like just apply it. Like which we IMGs, I feel sometimes don't know that tricks on how to apply, which you very well guided me through. I think I would have done something else or maybe probably wrong and would have not been in a position what I am today. So I'm glad that I approached you, and through every step in the process I took your advice and it paid off well.
Thank you. See, I mean, we have learned by our personal experiences. Plus, over the years, we have helped hundreds of IMGs. So, we exactly know what the program wants and we know how to craft those applications. And, we project the candidates in a very nice way that they actually are. And this is true for IMGs trained outside the US because the US is a very special place. And I see this even with our European IMGs. And even with IMGs whose English is the first language, that they have to project very differently in the US because the US is an outlier, and there is a lot of drama and there is a lot of things happening in the US system. So you have to project it in a nice way, and that's what we try to strive at.
Yeah, I mean, what I've realized is also it's not just adding into your CV. I mean, during interview process, they can ask anything with your CV, what you did and how you participated in that work. So that is also key. It's not just going on adding onto your CV. You really have to know what you have done in your CV.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to add everything that adds value and you have to take off everything that adds noise and which is a distractor from the CV. Absolutely.
Yes. Because they can easily predict that, okay, even though if it's on the CV, you don't know about that work. So you have to really be honest to yourself first, putting anything on your CV.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You cannot lie anything on your CV or anywhere. That's an absolute no. And I think it's more important to highlight. It's all about how you say it because I mean this happens with local graduates too. And we do help them as well because it's really important to say what you did. And many times people don't realize these things.
Yes.
So I guess now let's say if someone has done in your path, so MBBS from India or any country, and they have done internal medicine, and now they want to come to the US through the alternate entry path program. Now I know how this works, but if you have to say from your words as to what you would tell people, what steps to take and what would that be?
So first you need to see that what you have in your bucket with your experience in your home country. Based on that, you have to build your CV. First thing is get over with the USMLE step exam, step 1, step 2 and 3, and get an ECFMG certification. That's the key moving forward. Once you have that, and with your background in your home country, you can build your CV based applying for a research position and do publications, because that has a lot of value in United States. Like what I did was, I didn't know anybody when I came in, and even from the research aspect. So I'll share an example. Like one of my family member had a doctor's appointment, and it was a super specialty appointment. And I requested them, can I be a part of your team and just do voluntary work and see patients with you? And they welcomed me. I helped them. So even though while doing research, I was in constant touch with the clinical side, and this was like a private practice, a physician. So that helped me immensely. And they saw me, working well and doing good. They provided me good LORs as well. And even with the research where I did, I was in the clinical side, so that added up. So clinical and research both goes hand to hand is very good. Just participate in the various conferences in United States. That also helps building network, be it like ACP Internal Medicine Conference or Family Medicine Conference. Attending conferences and getting to know people and what they share, what they tell you is a big step moving forward.
What were some of the most valuable pieces of advice or strategy you received from us, from me and us?
First thing, to change the game plan of not applying for residency. That was the most valuable advice given to me initially, and then during this process there were a lot of rejections. I have to be honest, but I kept my foot in the door and just kept on improving my CV while things not going in the right direction initially when I met you, then kept applying to the positions wherever it was possible to apply for. And so, yeah, I mean, that was the most valuable advice you had given me. And you also, I remember you mentioning to me, have patience. This is a pathway which is not straightforward, but if you have a good belief that you can do it, it is possible.
Yeah, for sure. And if you think about it, it didn't take too much time though, right? I mean, we were on this, maybe like 6-9 months?
So I still remember the date. August 17 I approached you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
2023, yes, almost 9 months.
Okay. That's great. I mean, 9 months, I would say, is fantastic, from thinking about applying to residency all the way to having a confirmation that you're now an attending physician.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I was not comfortable. I mean, if I had applied for residency, I would have waited till July to begin with. I felt if I could do this way, it's better. And
Yeah.
not to waste any time.
Yeah. See, for IMGs like you, who are really very experienced and who have fantastic credentials, I would say doing residency is actually pulling back in your career, because now you're regressing back. You're not only losing those valuable time in terms of actually trying to learn what you already know, plus that's going to distract you from focusing on being productive in research, being productive in teaching the next generation, and also, of course, making a lot more money, because the pay of residency and pay of attending physicians is like a difference of day and night.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you've done residency, it's laborious, it's time consuming, and a lot of energy gets wasted, which you could invest in while doing a different faculty job.
For those of you watching, I'm not saying you should not do residency, but what I'm saying is, for those eligible candidates who can bypass residency, I always encourage choosing that option as compared to repeating your residency all over again. But for many of you, that might be the only option, and that is fine.
Right. So it all depends individual to individual, from where they are coming from and what they have in their bucket coming from outside country.
Mm-hmm. And how was our interview preparation? You think that was helpful?
Immensely. What you told me was like very secret, like how to approach the interview, what to say, what not to say. You fine-tuned me with the interview process as well, even with your colleagues who helped me. Not only you, your colleagues also guided me through the entire process. And interview, when you compare with a residency versus faculty, it's a different ball game altogether. There is a big difference on how to interview in a faculty position, and it's something which I learned from you a lot, and I will cherish this and I will share with my friends and family on how to go about it if they have any problems or if they are in a situation like me for an interview in the faculty position.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That means a lot. And I have to tell you, the experts and all the rest of the team really heartfully congratulates you on this success.
Thank you. I still have no words.
I guess you can enjoy Kentucky Fried Chicken now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And finally, what message do you have to share with our audience or IMGs?
Have patience and never give up. Keep moving forward. Disappointments will come. It's not an easy track. I mean, nothing is easy, but perseverance is the key in any aspect. I would say is my message to all the IMGs.
And any final words on our coaching?
Your coaching is exceptional and is very, very eye-opener in a lot of ways. As an IMG, we don't know a lot of things, guided me in the entire process. I think this wouldn't have been possible also where I am today It's all because, I have to give credit to IMGC in a lot many ways.
Thank you. Well, I thank you so much for taking your time and sharing your experiences, and I'm sure our IMG audience is going to really appreciate that and hopefully gain some experience that they can apply in their own life. And if you all want to speak to one of us and celebrate your success, then you can always book an appointment with us on our website www.imgsecrets.com. I also encourage you to check this video out where I have left the specific details on the alternate entry path program where you as an IMG can come directly from your home country into the USA, bypassing residency. Any questions, do post in the comments below. We try to get back to you as soon as possible. Take care, stay safe. We will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Pleasure it was.